Hey there, everyone. Welcome to SubculturedTV. We actually just got back from Anime Expo. So let's talk about it. So, like we just said, we got back from Anime Expo. A lot of fun things, a lot of things that probably should be adjusted next time.
Yeah.
But overall, I had a really good time. I would say let's kind of get into some of like the high level overview of some of the things that maybe weren't so great that could be improved next time.
Yeah.
And then we'll eventually get into some of the things that we really enjoyed, because I think there was a lot to really enjoy. I know a lot of people are complaining, but I still had a good time.
Yes.
I had a fantastic time.
Same here. I will say, when I saw all the posts on Instagram of AX and how crowded it was and stuff like that, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. But I also felt like maybe it was kind of like that every year.
Yeah.
That I've attended, at least.
Yeah, like everyone was complaining that the first year was ridiculously crowded, and I get it was. But realistically, compared to last year, the hallways didn't feel that much worse.
No. I mean, the worst day for crowding was Saturday.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that kind of comes with the territory. Everybody's off of work. It was also day one.
Yep.
So it's just, I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, I get it. It's uncomfortable, but I don't necessarily think it was worth complaining about. What I do think is worth complaining about is that they closed those two entrances.
Yes.
That made everything worse.
So here's the thing I don't understand, and obviously I'm not a fire marshal.
You don't say.
That's a fun fact. But one thing was, like, they closed the two entrances because it was a fire hazard. How is making it to where there's less places for people to enter and leave a fire hazard?
Well,
Wouldn't that be like the opposite?
no. The thing was, they didn't just close two doors. They had to close the entrances so that they could be used exclusively as exits, is what I thought.
No.
No,
Right?
they just
Completely
closed.
just shut down.
Really?
Yeah.
Then what's the point?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't know.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know one of the things is that they didn't have enough like volunteers or workers,
Oh.
you know, which maybe
Wait, they didn't have enough volunteers or they didn't have enough workers? Because those
Both.
are very different.
both.
Yeah.
Because they're like SP, the company that owns Anime Expo. They didn't get enough because they're a nonprofit. They normally hire out people, plus they lean a lot on volunteers, but they lacked in both. And I guess maybe that's what led to a lot of the mayhems.
Oh.
I think it's ridiculous to call Anime Expo a non-profit.
Yeah.
I know.
There's someone in the company making a lot of
Yeah.
money. It
Yeah.
might not be.
We paid for something.
Yeah. And
know.
like, you could argue like, oh, well, it's the space is expensive and, you know, whatnot. But like, they have hundreds of thousands of people going every year. Each ticket, if you get a 4-day pass, is like 140, right? Bucks?
Well,
I think it
no,
was like 180 or something. like that.
180?
Yeah.
no, it ended at 210.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that was the peak.
wow. And then
Wow.
on top of that, each vendor has to not just pay for their space, but also if they want electricity or
Wi-Fi.
internet, they have to pay extra for all that. So
And
all that
parking.
money is going to something more than just the convention center space, I would like to think.
Yeah, I know. Plus the parking was a big one because you have 7 giant parking lots that everyone's paying $30 a piece for.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was only in the last 2 days. The first 2 days, it was 40 and 50.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, it was
Dang,
crazy.
yeah. That was insane.
Yeah.
But something that I do wish, like, again, I don't know if this is because they had less workers in general, but you know, for those panels that we would try to go up to in the upstairs in the 400s, they were like, oh, well, this is where the panel is, but the line is on the opposite end of the building outside.
Yeah.
No signs. There was no message. It was just like,
It's not in the app.
Yeah.
You just have to ask someone.
and
they
hopefully they know.
Exactly. Well, I had an instance where we were at AX. I was trying to find a room. And all it said was something like West Hall B or something like that on the app. And I asked someone that was working there, like, hey, do you know where this is? And they were like, oh, I think it's that way. And they pointed to a direction where I knew it wasn't there just because I had come from there. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. And I moved on. because I was like, oh yeah, this person doesn't know. And then
Yeah.
I asked someone else who was able to get me to the right place. But it's like, if you don't know, don't say anything. Why are you just taking a blind guess?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was, yeah. But I mean, overall, even with all that stuff, I still had a really good time. And like, we hit up a lot of good panels.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
we met a lot of good people.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, it's fun for me just because I don't necessarily get to see a lot of like my friends or clients that I would normally get to because, you know, they're from all over the country.
Yeah.
So when they fly in for like the couple days, it's just nice to see them.
Yeah. One thing I really like too is just because everyone's in the anime space when we're at AX, a lot of people are very supportive of other people's cosplays. Like,
Yeah, very
regardless
much so.
of if it's beautiful or if you bought it off of Amazon, everyone's always like, oh my gosh, I love your cosplay, or I love, you know, that show. It's a very nice place to be. And I feel like when you're in person, a lot of the normal toxicity in any space kind of disappears, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what was your guys' favorite panel?
My favorite panel
Ooh,
has to be the Eminence in Shadow.
I was about to say that.
And I think it's just because Seiichiro, the guy who is like the voice actor for Sid Kagano from Eminence in Shadow, he's like the biggest cutie pie.
Yeah.
Such a cutie pie.
Yeah, he's like the sweetest guy. I think this was like one of his like first like voice acting roles.
He crushed it.
And he crushed it, and like everyone gave him a lot of support, and
Yeah.
I've never seen like a panelist so engaged, especially for someone who doesn't like speak English fluently. He really did his best to like answer as many of the questions in English without his translator, for good or for worse in some instances. But the thing was, like, he was so like engaged. Like, he kept me more engaged than like the people asking him questions or anything like that. Like, I really enjoyed.
He was such a
time.
cutie pie. I really liked when he like stood up in front of the whole
Yeah.
stage and had the mic, and he was like, all right, let's see who's the favorite, what do you call them? Like Shadow Garden characters.
Yeah.
And so he was like Alpha, and like people would cheer. And like, I thought it was really funny. I think he said Zeta. That was like one of the last two people.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know them because they're very minor characters as of right now. And then so not a lot of people cheered, and he was like, oh, you guys don't like that, you know, this character, huh? And
Yeah.
I was like, what a cutie pie. I really liked the way that he ran things.
Yeah, because it's rare. Because I've been to, because this was my 8th or 9th AX, and out of all the panels I've been to, it's very rare for someone to be come in super energetic like how he did,
Yeah.
and actually took the time to not be so professional. Like, I don't know how to put it, because he
Like, just be like a regular person.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that was really cool, you know?
Yeah.
To see him get up and all the different variants of I am atomic
Yes.
he did. That was really good.
So one thing I noticed is he does not know the meme. He does not know it. You know how everyone here is obsessed with like the whole I am atomic being a meme and like the way he whispers it. So basically, for people who weren't there, the host, the panelist asked him like, hey, could you do us a solid and do a quick like I am atomic for us? And he gave us all these different versions, and it was very obvious that he doesn't realize which one it was that we love so much.
Yeah.
And I was like, it makes sense though. I think a majority of the people who like that as a meme are American, not Japanese, like in actual Japan. And so I thought that was also really cute to see. I don't
Yeah.
know, something about him. I just want to like pinch his cheeks.
Yeah, no, he was a sweetie. I mean, besides that, the panel before that, which was kind of like a series of like performances.
Oh yeah,
There was that one Japanese like
singer.
band that was
Yeah.
like they popped off.
Yeah, they did.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one that did all the instrumentals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the hard part for them is I thought they killed it. Like, they were so
Yeah.
good. But she wanted to gauge engagement based on if we were singing along, and she kept saying, like, everybody sing along, right? Or not sing along, because
Yeah.
she didn't sing. She wanted everyone to fill in the gap and actually sing. But none of us know how to sing in Japanese. So it's just quiet, but like we're like cheering, but it's not like singing along. And I was like, oh man, that's such a shame. I wish I knew Japanese enough to sing along because she did such a great job.
Yeah, I mean, but I think they did the best out of like, I don't. Okay,
Whoa! You're forgetting my favorite.
Well, no. Kuromi.
Kuromi.
No, but
the
like,
pop idol?
I don't like to say like one performance.
What she was supposed to be?
A pop idol?
Kuromi?
Yeah.
The Hello Kitty one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know about, okay, I know she was supposed to be an idol. I don't know, a pop idol, but
Yeah.
I know they called her an idol.
I thought it was so funny. I was dancing along. I was into it.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't like to say like one performance was like better or worse than like the other, but like I just felt like a lot of the other performances, they didn't really understand the audience of AX.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they brought in like to teach me how to Dougie people,
Yeah.
and it was like very clear that like the audience just didn't resonate with them.
I don't know about you guys, but I am not cool enough to Dougie.
I don't think anyone at AX is cool enough
No,
to Dougie.
no, definitely not.
I think the
Well-
second you get your badge, you're no longer.
Here's another complaint I have with AX, okay? Because I felt like they did a great job, and it was so cool that they actually came out to perform. I wish they had some time to talk to the audience just for like a second, just to be like,
Yeah.
hey guys, you know, this is who we are, you know, and we're gonna, everyone stand up, like something. But instead, they introduced them. The song immediately starts playing, so they have no chance to really connect. And then
Yeah.
as soon as the song's over, they're off the stage. And I just felt really bad because I felt like, I don't know, I have this like thing where I feel bad for performers sometimes if they don't get a good reaction.
Yeah. I
And
get it.
that's how I felt for them because they're very accomplished people. They deserved more than that, but they just weren't given the opportunity either.
Well, I also feel like whenever they were like, a lot of the people that were doing the introductions this year at AX for the panels, for like the actual like panelists and like performers, it's as if they really knew nothing about anime, and like you could tell, and as a result, like the crowd had a hard time getting into things because they would just be like, all right, guys, I know you guys really like this, people, you know, here's this. And then it's like, okay, like that's it. Like there's like, you know,
Or sometimes when their jokes fell flat, or like, I don't know, there were some times where it felt like the hosts all practiced their lines separately rather than together.
Yeah.
Because there was one time during the intro ceremonies, I think, where there were 3 people up there, and they were kind of all in their own vibe, even
Yeah.
though they were talking to each other.
yeah, it was a little bit jumbled.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that was definitely something they could have done better. One thing that they could have done better at the Eminence and Shadow paneling was opening the restroom doors for
Oh
for
my
men.
gosh,
I was
yes.
so upset by that.
We had to
Yeah.
pee so bad.
Well, the thing that upset me was they were like, if you go out the doors, you're not going to be able to come back. You're going to have to go back and wait in the line. It's like, okay, well, I don't want to lose my spot.
Yeah.
And I completely understand where they're coming from. But then they opened up the doors at the end, and then you realize it's completely separate from
Yep.
the rest of the convention center. So why can I not have come back in? All they had to do was open those doors, because when I had to go and use those, like, when they opened doors at the end for me to use, like, the restroom, I was like, okay, now I get to just walk back to
The con.
the con. But no, I had to walk back to where I just came from, like that same like panel room, and then exit through like different doors, which made no sense. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
guys gotta pee too.
Speaking of problems with panels, what was it exactly that happened with the One Piece one? Because I know a lot of people complained.
Yeah, there was a big issue with that. So essentially, they were going to be premiering, I believe, the dub of the 1000th episode of One Piece, and I don't know, was it Oda that they had there,
No,
or was it just an animator?
no. It was an animator and the voice actor for. Oh my gosh, I forget. He is part of the Straw Hats. I just don't remember which
Yeah.
one.
But yeah, they did like a live. He did a live drawing. The animator did a live drawing, and they pretty much broadcasted this. Toei Animations broadcasted this as, you know, we're gonna have this, you know, amazing panel. As a result, people were like camping out
For 2 days.
for 2 days, only for event special guests to get first access. And because pretty much every single person wanted to go to it, what they didn't realize was they had the smallest venue. It only sat, I think, something like 200 to 300 people. And
oh my gosh, it's so little.
There was lines wrapped around, and essentially no one got in. No one got in but event guests. And everyone was really upset because it essentially became a private event as opposed to the public event it was supposed to be.
And people waited in line for
People waited
Like
2 days. They didn't get to enjoy the con for 2 days because they were waiting for the event to start. People like switched back and forth so that way they could save their spots in line. People were cutting in line and people were mad about that. But yeah, no one got in. And
Wow.
it was a big ball drop on Toei Animation's part because they could have very well just gotten the Diamond Ballroom at the JW Marriott.
Yep.
Because that thing was huge. That thing
Probably sat like 800 people at least.
At least.
They could have fit not the whole line based on what I saw, but they could have fit a good chunk of it. I only say that because that line, I didn't see it up close, but I saw it like when we were in an Uber. And I was like, there's no way that's for something with AX.
Yep.
Well, that's what I thought too, because I saw it and I was like, you have to understand, if you're in that line and you're at the end, you're not getting in. You might as well leave.
Yeah.
But
Well, they probably didn't know how small the room was, because how could you?
yeah, no one knew.
Speaking of panels that got sold out, oh my gosh, this was the second year in a row that I missed the one thing I really, really wanted to do.
The Pokemon habitat.
Yes, the Pokemon habitat.
Yeah.
I stood in line, I think it was like an hour or two early last year, and I didn't get in. And then this year, they didn't clear the room after the one before it. So pretty much nobody got in. And I know it's silly, okay? But I really want to make a Pokemon habitat.
Well, that is something that's been the biggest, in my opinion, one of the biggest problems that AX has had is that unless it's an 18 and over like panel, they never clear the room.
Which doesn't make sense. And it's like, I get their concept is that like we want to give people like the ability that were there before, like the ability to stay without having to wait in like the line previous. But it's like, why are we sacrificing for a few people compared to letting some people get in? Because there's probably a lot of people that never got to get into a single panel they wanted to because of this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it is really bad. Like,
Well, dude, I think we were lucky to get into as many panels as we did.
Yeah.
Well, I will admit, I did sometimes go to panels early, as in the panel previous to the one I wanted to be in, just because I knew it said if they weren't going to clear it. So,
well, we only did that once, and that was for Eminence and Shadow. But luckily, that one wasn't even like, that one had such a big room that wasn't a problem even afterwards.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Diamond Ballroom could seat more than 800.
No, I think
so
so.
massive.
I think so.
Yeah, that was just a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
You know?
It sounds right, but at the same time, I feel like it's like in the multiple thousands, just because the room was huge.
That was never filled.
Yeah, it was never filled. It's impossible. It's like I was looking at the room and I looked at the line outside of the room, you know, where they tape up the line marks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, even if you filled 20 of these lines, it would still not fill up the whole room because these lines are so much shorter and smaller than the actual room itself.
I think the only time I've ever seen that room packed is when they brought back Dragon Ball Super and they showed the first episode.
Oh, that makes sense though.
Oh, yeah.
That was probably the only time I've ever seen that room
But
packed.
that's what they should have done for the One Piece one.
Absolutely.
So wasn't there also like an issue with like the One Piece one in that like they're airing an episode for dub fans that like is far further than they will get even in the next probably like half a year?
Probably. Well, dude, and it's, I don't know. I mean, I have a problem with One Piece pacing when it comes to the anime.
Oh, you want it to be faster?
No,
You want it to be slower?
no, I want it to make sense. You know?
But what are they doing differently than the manga that you don't like?
Okay, so let's say a fight. One fight, let's say like the longest fight, right, will last, I don't know, a chapter.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it?
Okay.
In the manga, it only lasts a chapter for one fight?
Oh, no. In the manga, like the actual longest fight, not an arc, but a single fight,
Yeah.
right, will last, what was the longest fight? Probably with Whitebeard. And that was, I don't know, like 5 or 6 chapters.
Angel, could you fact check and put it in
Yeah.
the comments?
Yeah, because I don't remember. That was because like that was so long ago. But I remember that like that was a long fight. That fight dragged on for like 8 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I mean by pacing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just certain things. You know when films have too long of a B-roll?
Yeah.
It's like that. That's probably the best way I could put it. And they put flashbacks and scenes that weren't in the manga that don't necessarily need to be there to drag it out, which I understand because like the anime is always like right there to the manga. It's always, so they always have to push everything out. But I feel like at this point, One Piece should just become a seasonal anime since it's always, I don't know, maybe like 2 months behind the manga.
Okay.
Personally, but
That
that's
makes
just
sense.
but that's just, you know.
Your own preference.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
No, but I think my favorite panel though, what's a surprising one, was Dark Gathering.
Oh, Dark Gathering.
That was
great.
great.
Yeah.
I loved it. Oh my
I
gosh.
know we're gonna have another video on this, but honestly, I don't even think this is a hot take at this point. And I'm not just saying this because we talked to the high dive people and I think they're all great.
Yeah.
But
Unbiased.
yeah, honestly, an unbiased opinion on this one is High Dive, in my opinion, is doing a better job of screening animes and choosing screening mangas and choosing which like animes they want to bring into their like library a lot better than Crunchyroll.
Yeah, because so they gave us Eminence and Shadows.
Yep.
They now have Danmachi, which is great.
Yep.
Oshinoko.
Oshinoko, which
Call of
was
the Night.
which, by the way, if any of you haven't watched Oshinoko, I know that the premise, the summary, whatever, like the description
do
that
it
it gives
justice.
it
Yeah.
doesn't do it justice. Just
So good,
ignore it and just watch it. And what was the other ones?
Call of the Night.
Call of the Night,
Sudene.
which was surprising. Yeah, because like that anime, it's something that I wouldn't have watched unless you guys recommended it to me.
Yeah.
Just based off the premise. But like I enjoyed that a lot more than I thought I would have. And what was the other one that you guys recommended to me? The
Giant Beast of Ours.
yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
you
one has a
watched
lot of
that?
potential.
Oh.
I think like this like first season was a lot of exposition, but I think it has a lot of potential.
Oh, so do I.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. That it
Yeah.
has a lot of potential. Because as I was watching it, there was some really good moments, but I was like, man, this gonna get really good, and it never quite
Peaked.
hit. Yeah, it never peaked like it wanted to.
Yeah.
But it still has the potential to peak in season 2, maybe.
Yeah.
I agree.
In what is it, Fate Zero? I felt the same way. Where season 2, is it technically season 2 or is it just a part 2 of?
No, it's
one?
season 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was so good and it hit all the peaks that I wanted from season 1.
Yeah.
And if it's gonna be
Yeah.
like that, I'm okay with the expositional season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but they also have Sudene, and then even some of their other shows like Dangers in My Heart are really good. I think they also did Otaku Elf,
Yeah, they did.
like Too Cute Crisis. Like I would say on average, they're doing a much better job of like picking animes. Because Dark Gathering looked incredible.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because if you look at the drawing style, it's very 2000s.
Yeah, but I love it.
But like, yeah, and that's what's great. But yet they remastered, like it looks like a 2000s was remastered in today's like technology.
Yeah.
and it was like amazing. Dark Gathering, we're not really gonna spoil it. I definitely think you guys should watch it, but it's a horror thriller. Not really horror. I would just say more so thriller.
Yeah, thriller.
Like spooky thriller.
The drawing of the eyes, dude.
Yeah.
Freaky.
Yeah.
I really like the way that what's the term for it for the main character when like things happen to them.
Oh, like they're like the straight man kind of a.
Yeah,
Oh.
so
Yeah.
that's like the technical term. It's basically refers to like a person who like things happen to them and they are reacting like a normal person should / would, rather than being like super normalized.
I 100% would react the same way as he did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
100%.
But they added a layer of like he's actually into it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because
That
was so good.
And
So
so,
let's-
and so is the
let's
try not to
the
spoil
girl that's
it, though.
supposed to be
You can't-
normal.
I know.
Okay, I won't spoil it, but it does happen episode 1. So it's safe to say that it's
Episode 1 will hook you.
yeah,
100% hooked
which
me.
is rare these days.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad they showed 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, oh man.
Speaking of watching 2 episodes, what about when you only get to see half an episode at a panel?
Oh, Initial
Oh.
D cutting off the
Blue balls.
cutting off the ending. Yeah,
They got
that
blue
was
balls.
upsetting.
Right when it was about to get good.
Yeah, you know what's really weird about Initial D? Is it just me, or did the drawing style get worse?
Dude, you know what? It's very like really like I don't know. I don't even know soft is the right word. It's very like
Rounded.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
so-
was like, what happened?
In terms of drawing style, I would say Initial D is the best. And then this new one, which is MFG, right? MF Ghost.
Yeah.
Is second best. And then have you checked out the manga for MFG?
Yeah.
That's my third.
Yeah. But no, I mean that was really weird because you had these characters that were supposed to be so drop dead gorgeous that
Yeah.
like it just like stuns this girl, and then
You're
that's what we got.
You're like,
Yeah.
you sure?
Yeah.
This is the one?
I'm
Okay.
like,
Are you sure that's the reaction like you should be giving him?
Yeah.
yeah. But Initial D looks like it could be good, like or MF. Sorry, MF.
MF Ghost, yeah.
MFG, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a few episodes just because
Me
like
too.
I did enjoy Initial D, so
Yeah.
I'm assuming hopefully I'll enjoy this.
If the racing is good, I think it's going to be a really good anime. I'm actually pretty excited for it.
Well,
so
if the
I-
racing isn't good, there's no point in watching it.
Yeah.
That's literally the whole point.
But what's gonna happen? There's no tofu.
So I didn't realize that this was off of Initial D, like the sequel, because I never watched Initial D, and I also never
Yeah.
watched Speed Racer. And so, but I knew that it was a sequel of some sort. And so there was one scene in the first episode where he's like, I'm looking for my dad. And I literally turned to Tyler and I went, I'm going to call it right now. His dad is Speed Racer. And he was like, that's not the right answer.
The right answer would have been Racer X.
And then he said, no, he was like, this is not Speed Racer. This is based off of like Initial D. And I was like, Initial D is his dad.
Initial D is
Yep. Nailed
And
it.
then I realized I was wrong on all fronts.
It's actually the 86 Corolla. That's his dad.
Which it's pretty. I was pretty stoked that they brought that back though.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I love that car.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for that one. But yeah, I would say it's not even a hot take right now to say High Dive has, in my opinion, a very promising future.
Well, dude, if we just look at the panels we went to, right? Because we saw how many premieres?
A lot.
We saw a lot.
Yeah,
The
okay.
only good thing from Crunchyroll that I saw was Ayaka and Initial D.
Yeah. And then Shield Hero, I'm gonna leave.
Shield
maybe,
Hero
questionable.
looks like it's continuing the same trend as season 2.
Yeah.
I really hope not. You
It
know?
doesn't seem like it was progressing the story.
I really, really hope not.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this. So season 3 starts off with like him obviously trying to like free the slaves, and there's a debate between is this gonna go on for a long time, and we're gonna get another season 2 where
They
it's
better
not progressing a story, not really, anyways, or is this gonna be like maybe like a 2-episode wonder, you know, and then we're gonna get back into the real story?
That's what I'm hoping for.
I don't think so.
Because like I read the manga.
You read One Piece too.
Yes.
Didn't stop them from extending it to 8 months, like you said.
You know what else I read? I read Devil is a Part-Timer. Let me tell you, season 2 is pitiful.
Oh, speaking of Devil's a Part-Timer, let's drop our clip right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kenny? Hey guys, this is Jess. I'm with Gamers Heaven at Ideology Coffee, and we're here to ask you, what do you think is the most underrated anime?
All right, I'm not sure if it's underrated, but it's personally what I love. And I don't know if a lot of people know it, but it's The Devil's a Part-Timer. Thank you. They're cheering back there too. No, just because at the end of the day, like it's not a serious anime, so it's not mainstream. But if you've seen it, it's not serious. It's just fun, low key. I actually put it on all the time when I need to do overnight work, and it's just like like slice of life. Like it's such a ridiculous premise, and I just enjoy it. And I feel like that's missing in our life a lot of times. Like you're like too much serious anime out there and like that. Everyone gets so involved, and it's like just relax and just enjoy it for once. And that's what this anime really just does. Especially all the satire, like freaking Kentucky Chicken, McRonald's. Like come on, like. But
his bike, right?
Oh my God, dual hand, come on! Like it's so ridiculous. I actually like identify with the character so much. Like people think I'm out to do this like diabolical business, and I'm just like, no, I'm just like a normal guy like everyone, just trying to have fun and just trying to live my life, and just like I just love it. I feel like it represents like most of us these days and stuff too. So he's not some like McDonald's CEO in the company. No, he's just he's a fry cook and he loves what he does. And I don't know. I feel like everyone should watch it if they haven't done so yet.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Andrew.
And now back to your regularly scheduled
program.
podcast.
Before we go on, though, I would like to say big shout out to Gamers Heaven, because not only was everyone who worked there, including Andrew, really, really nice and really great and really fun, but they actually sponsored a coffee shop called Ideology, which was really close to the convention center.
And delicious.
And so any AX person, if you go there, they would actually buy your coffee. And yes, I did go every single day because I'm not going to say no to free coffee.
Yeah.
But it was just so nice because sure, people could give me buttons or like a swag bag or whatever, but there's nothing like giving someone coffee. It's a whole experience.
Especially first thing in the morning.
Yeah, and realistically, there's a lot of freebies that I got from AX that I'm never going to think twice about, but I will always remember the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part was Andrew even supported my
Your boy.
my unofficial sponsor and bought me a Fiji so that way I could put in my liquid IV. Not a sponsor, but we'll take it. So I was able to have my liquid IV before the cons, which was nice.
And he didn't have to. He was very
No,
nice.
he didn't have to. I was prepared to pay for it, and then he just said, "Here,
Yeah.
take this and I'll pay for it." And I'm like,
Because
okay.
originally you gave me your coupon so that I could double fist drinks.
Yeah.
Which I'm a name drop Makeup by Leanna. We went to the con as like a big group, and she introduced me to a whole new world of double fisting drinks. This whole time I thought I had to choose one or the other, and as a fickle person, that's really hard. But no, you don't have to do that. Just buy two.
Whole new world.
Yeah, that's how I felt. It was like really eye opening, and I got two, and I've never felt so alive, like free. I felt like the 86.
You mean the part that you don't like?
No, I felt like the people. What is it on Attack on Titan? What are they called? The children of Ymir.
Yeah.
I felt like children of Ymir on the island, seeing the water for the first time before we realized what's really out there.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Yeah, because forget about the 86 kids.
Yeah, be more fun.
Who needs freedom?
Yeah.
War.
But I think going back to some things that AX could do a little bit better. So obviously making it to where people left the panels so that way a new group of people could come in, I think is good, because it is a little bit selfish to let one group of people just hog up all the space. It's one thing to not like kick everyone out. It's another thing to not kick anyone out.
Yeah.
And I know that's a hard distinction to make, but when literally only 5 people get to go into the Pokemon habitat because everyone stayed there from the previous panel, like things like that are a little excessive.
Yeah. I'm going to do that next year, though. I'm going to go into the panel two
panels before?
2 panels before.
Yeah.
That's how determined I am.
Well, and then you also have that same issue with Bleach, too. For that Bleach showing, you had people camping out, because one of the guys that went with us, he left at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
And there was already a line of like over 400 people.
Wow. Did he get in?
No.
Really?
Are we going to talk about the line to get in? How long do you think that would have been?
I
at the
heard
peak.
people saying that they had to wait like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Joe, how long did Jonathan wait?
Not very long.
Got it.
You know?
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
he got lucky.
Yeah. Well, a lot of us were leaving, I think, at like 8 a.m. to get it to wait in line so that we could get in a timely manner.
Yeah, and that was like on days like
Day
2 and
one,
3.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like day one, you have to be there early just because
Yeah.
it's day one. You don't know how fast things are gonna go. Because half the time things are still kind of getting finished by day one, which is a little ridiculous if you ask
Yeah.
me. Like it should be done a couple days prior, because like
Especially because there's a day 0. So it makes
Yeah.
no sense for people to still be setting up when it's not like, oh, there was a convention before that ended like that day before, so they had to just rush in and get there.
Well-
No, they had the time.
So,
Yeah.
you know, and what's crazy is that, so I know they're two separate cons, but like San Diego Comic-Con, right? It's the entire San Diego Convention Center plus Petco Park, which is like right next door, plus the 7 of the hotels that are there,
Yeah.
right? So that con goes from day 0 is Wednesday
Okay.
all the way through Sunday, right? So it's like 5 days?
That's a lot of days.
Yeah, so it's like 5 days. Everything is done before day 0 even hits.
Oh, you mean setup?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know why they can't do the same thing at AX.
They can if they, really put their mind to it. I believe in you.
Yeah, well, it just because like the lines. Because remember, like I feel like every day we entered the con, the hallway when we first entered was just like a free for all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then day 2 they restricted the Lounge 21 access to funnel us in that way.
Yeah.
And then day 3 they just split the hall in half. And
I
then,
remember.
And I'm like, why can't you just like pick one?
The
Instead
thing
of-
about splitting the hall in half was it was so stupid because obviously the intent is you have 2 opposing flows of traffic on either side so that you never have like a standstill.
Yeah.
But the guy that was directing the traffic at the split was saying like, "Oh, it doesn't matter which one you go in, just stick to it." And I'm like, "Sir, sir, there's tape on the ground.
Yeah,
we're not
with
gonna
arrows.
we're not gonna just like stick to one side or the other, but also like that you're missing the whole point of why this exists."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the favorite thing that you guys bought at Anime Expo?
I wish I brought it. It's my tiger sweater.
Dang, I should have brought it. But my Makima statue.
Your Makima
Oh,
statue?
yeah.
A figure
Okay.
for my PC. That or the shirt, actually.
That's
Oh,
a sick
yeah.
shirt.
Yeah,
That is a
I don't
sick
even
shirt.
remember you buying that one.
This is our artist alley from an independent artist. Support your independent artists.
I tried to. I tried to.
You tried to.
Oh, Tyler.
I was told they'd be on a 30-minute lunch break that extended the whole weekend.
No,
It's true.
that's true.
I also actually bought this at AX. It's little sunflowers with duckies crossing them.
I bought this at Kohl's. It's like the first and only time I've been in a Kohl's, and I was like, all right.
A multi-conglomerate. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Support your starving local multi-conglomerates. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know what my favorite thing was. Let me see.
Except I wanted to build it to see it would even fit in my PC first.
Did it fit?
I haven't put it in yet.
I put mine in.
Yeah, I know.
Second I
Yeah.
got back.
I know it's because I need to buy that wood for. I want to do
Oh.
that and then just put it underneath. So I just.
Should have told me. I have a big piece of wood.
Oh, dude.
Well,
Well then.
Surprise, you're Asian.
yeah. Hey,
I didn't know Asians did woodworking.
you know, I would say it's above average. 3 inches above average.
What are we talking about?
So, some people say that's massive.
Yeah. But no, yeah. I don't even know what I feel like every time I buy things, I don't know, I get roofied because I just don't remember what I bought.
You have your figures. You
I'm
got
so-
a couple
I'm-
shirts.
I'm actually surprised just you didn't see your cat sweater. The
Oh,
cat sweater thingy.
I do really like that one. My favorite part about buying that cat sweater is that they gave me the artist was there, And when I purchased this $200 cat shirt, which
Sweater.
Make
it sound better.
Like, yeah, sure.
Cloak.
Yeah. Cell phone. They actually asked me what my favorite anime character was, and then he drew it in cat form. It was amazing. Like, not
He drew
the drawing,
Yeah.
but like the whole experience.
Are you hanging
was
that on your
so
fridge?
fun. I don't really hang things on my fridge. I don't have magnets. But if you want to donate some magnets, sure, I'll put it on my fridge.
It's gotta stay there forever, though.
Yeah.
Sure. It's not my favorite character. I have no complaints.
Maybe I'll just say mine is a figure.
Or what about
one?
your fish backpack?
Oh, I did get a fish backpack.
Yeah.
That one's so cute. I
Yeah.
love that backpack.
Yeah, I got like this little fish backpack, so I think that'll probably be it. I weirdly didn't go overboard this year.
You know why? It's because we went to Fan Fusion less than a month ago, and we got so much of our fill shopping there that I actually went to a lot of booths, and I was like, I love this booth. I always get things here. And I looked, and I was like, I have all of these. And I just had to leave. What
Was
I
that
gonna
the ABG booth?
do? Both that one and, you know, the dark, like, navy blue sweater I wear a lot that has, like, the
Yeah, the constellations and
astrology,
stuff like that.
anime.
I don't know the color you're talking about. Yes, I know what. when you're
Dark.
Okay.
Close to black. How's that?
Is it the darkest of blacks?
It's like a light black.
Eminence reference.
But I looked around and I was like, I have like pretty much all of these. There's no, you know.
I get it.
I felt bad because I was like, I support them every single time, but I just can't bring myself to buy 2 of something.
You just gotta tell them you gotta make new stuff.
True. ABG, I really like their clothes because they have very colorful clothes, which I always look for. No offense, Chris, but I'm not looking for more white shirts because I own like 1 million of them.
Yeah.
You know, that's my main complaint I want to put out there to your clothing people. Okay, for anime stuff.
You know, you clothing people.
I don't know what to call them, whether they're the artists or the printers themselves. Make them in different colors,
Yeah,
not just black and white,
I agree.
Yes, I agree.
so I can buy more stuff.
Same.
But I have a question, Chris. Does it even matter to you?
Yes, for
Yeah.
cameras.
Oh, true. There was one women's clothing place in Artist Alley. This is another complaint I have, which is in line with some of our other complaints. They ran out of all of their smalls midday, day one.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
I literally stood in line for what would you say, like 30 minutes? Got to the front, only for them to be like, oh, we sold out of all of our smalls across all of their clothing.
Yeah. And they said
Day
they weren't even gonna like restock anything.
Yeah, it wasn't like a daily out of stock because it was a very custom jacket, something that you can't just like make on the fly. And they said they were just out and that to check out their website because they might restock. And like, don't get me wrong, I will buy it when they come back in stock. But I would have liked to have it earlier.
Well, especially because you were so cold.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
There were some panel rooms that were super cold. I felt like I was gonna get like a nosebleed from the hot to cold to hot to cold.
Oh, especially in the diamond, the diamond ballroom. That place was
That's
cold.
actually what I was thinking of.
Oh, that's what you were thinking of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had to sit on the chair like this because on the end it was like this little metal piece and I was wearing shorts and it was so cold against my skin. I was like, I can't do this. And I literally just sat like that the whole time. Super uncomfortable.
Shout out to Angel. I had Sunny D to keep me warm.
Yeah, Sunny D, I'm
Sunny D,
sure.
right.
I had Sunny D.
Mixed with what?
I don't know. I didn't make it.
Yeah. My favorite thing about Angel is like,
Angel's my brother, by the way.
Was he Yu or Hakusho?
dog, you know he mentioned that to me?
Did he?
Yeah. So Chris has a shirt with Yu Yu Hakusho. And it has these 2 guys, and it says Yu Yu Hakusho, and it's on my list to watch. It is.
It is.
It is on my list.
Is it
I
just-
just haven't yet.
Is it just because so many people have mentioned it?
Yeah, I want to
Okay.
know what it's all about. So it is on my list, but I haven't gotten around to it.
Okay.
And
I'm just happy.
Just the other day, I saw Chris's shirt and I was like, so which one's Yu and which one's Hakusho? And Chris is so upset.
One is Yusuke Urameshi, and the other one's Hiei.
So
Hakusho.
what does Hakusho mean?
Hakusho?
Yeah, like Yu Hakusho?
I have, it's just the name.
I don't know, Jess. How's your Duolingo Japanese going?
I have started.
You have?
The
I need
fun
to start.
fact, if you have Crunchyroll,
Yeah.
you get 2 months
Yeah, 2 months, correct.
of free Duolingo.
Yeah.
So come learn Japanese with me. これは
When you say this, what do you?
カレーですね.
Well,
I said this is curry, but there is no curry, so it really doesn't make sense. I just have such a limited vocabulary. It was all I could say.
you also need the ne at the end.
But no,
これはカレーですか?
Yeah, if you're asking a question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm asking, is this curry?
oh.
Yeah.
Now you know how to say, is this curry in Japanese? You're welcome.
Yeah.
But, you know, since we mentioned Crunchyroll, I do want to drop in one more thing with High Dive. The amount of, I guess, care or just their interactions with people at their booth was amazing.
Everyone.
Every
Everyone.
single one of them.
And Crunchyroll, you guys suck.
Yeah. Dog, I got literally peer pressure to take a Crunchyroll swag bag that I didn't want because they were yelling, like the Crunchyroll people were like, get in line, grab your swag bag. And I didn't want to get in line. I just wanted to go through the aisle to the other section. And then he was like, clear the hall. He literally was like, clear the hall, like get in line. And I felt like I had to go in line and I ended up in line and I was so upset.
Yeah, but like customer service, that's what I was looking
they
for.
did a great job.
Yeah, High Dive crushed it. And like Star, they were incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we actually got to talk to Star a little bit, who is in marketing for High Dive. So she actually hosted the Dark Gathering panel as well, which was great.
Yeah.
And so if you want to see kind of our interaction with her as well, make sure you check out our next episode in either 3 or 4 days, depending on if this goes out Wednesday or
Yeah.
Friday.
Well,
Yeah. What was your least favorite thing you bought?
Yeah, tell us.
And just kidding.
I don't have one because if I didn't like it, I didn't buy it.
Yeah. That was like
Yeah.
some of like the panel questions though that we
Oh.
had. Like some of the panel like interviewers, like not the panelists themselves, but like the interviewers that
yeah.
was like I guess they were coordinated by AX. They asked such obscure questions.
Or multiple questions into one.
Yeah, for someone that needed a translator.
Yeah, I felt so bad, dude.
Actually, that really bothered me.
Yeah.
Because, so you're talking about the Eminence and Shadow one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a host, and obviously there was the voice actor, and then there was a translator. And sometimes they didn't let the translator speak. And
Yeah.
so there was a wave of confusion. But I think the part that really bothered me was like just ask questions one at a time, because you could see that the voice actor was concerned.
Yeah, I'll say this to her defense. I know she's like an actor by trade, so she's not necessarily an interviewer. And I know that like this probably was one of I guess earlier. This might like be her first time doing something like this.
I don't think it's her fault at all, though.
But no,
I think it's Crunchyroll's fault.
Yeah.
Or sorry.
No.
High Dive?
Yeah, but I don't.
Whoever held like created the panel
Yeah.
should have made it clear to everyone, like, hey, this
Ask
is
one
how
question
you
at a
do
time.
interviews. This is how to work with a
Yeah.
translator. I don't think it's her
No, 'cause she
responsibility to
was
know.
very nice.
She was.
I'm not gonna.
I thought her energy was
Yeah.
great. She can't be responsible for that. It's the organization of it could have been. Because
Tidy.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe she just needed more time to ask the question. Because I know it was 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
At the beginning. Maybe it should have been stretched out to a half hour and then.
Just because I had a great time.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
there was
I had a good time in there too. So.
There's like really obscure questions too. Like, tell us about your journey as a voice actor.
Yeah.
And how you got into it and how it's going. and what you expect to see.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You're
you're gonna need 30 minutes just for that.
Yeah.
Well, and then you're asking someone who's not comfortable,
Yeah.
who's not fluent in English, 3 questions, and it's like,
Yeah. Especially when they're trying to answer in English for the crowd,
yeah,
you know? So like,
Yeah.
he really did his best to not rely on a translator.
which
But I
I do
think-
appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think part of why that upset me so much is just because of how much I really like the voice actor.
Oh,
Like,
Seiichiro?
I
Yeah.
feel so defensive for him, you know? Like, I'm like, don't do that to my boy.
I know. I'm actually probably gonna pick up the manga just to support the show. Like-
So
like
is it a
actually
manga
might-
or is it a light novel?
Oh, it might be a light novel.
So that's what I kind of found was it looked
Okay.
like when they passed out the manga,
Mm-hmm.
it said light novel like this many, and then it said manga this many. So I think it was originally a light
light novel
novel,
and then
and now
converting.
they're starting to do the manga as the show has gotten so much attention.
Oh, okay.
But that could just very well be a guess based off of what I saw.
I mean, that's essentially what they did with Danmachi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they should do that with No Game No Life, because
Yeah.
that's a
Light novel.
That's a light novel, and I think because people are waiting so long for it, I think if they came out with it in today's market with like manga, I think it would easily get enough attention to get that second season.
I agree.
Maybe High Dive will pick it up.
Star,
Star, please.
we need you.
You know, I buy a lot of hats, and the
Yeah.
other day I bought a hat, and I was like, NTNL, what is this? And it had like a little chest piece as their
Oh, yeah.
logo, but it's no thread, no life.
Oh.
They named their hat company, like their whole company, around No Game No Life, and I was like, these people know what's up.
Yeah.
Like,
So you proudly bought from them.
oh, so many.
Yeah.
I have so many hats from them.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess the big question is, I guess, when are we going back to AX?
Yeah, next year. I'm hoping though. There's some rumors that they might be moving it to
To
Anaheim.
Anaheim.
I would love that personally.
Yeah, same here. Especially, well, one, I mean, it's closer to home. Well, for me, at least. But like, the access to hotels is better
Yeah.
because they're not outrageously expensive. Like,
Same with food, right?
yeah, we have food. Food's everywhere around there.
Yeah.
And there's actually parking.
That doesn't cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, the most expensive parking that you're probably going to pay is at Disney.
Oh, I meant like parking for food.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
You can
yeah.
drive places and get parking for food rather than having to park on the street or take an Uber
or pay $20 for parking.
Yeah.
or pay
And
20
the
bucks
great
for a
thing is,
bird scooter.
Anaheim is really capable of taking in that kind of influx because
Yeah.
they have Disneyland.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like they know how to direct traffic. They know how to do all of that. The city of LA, doesn't matter how many events go on there. They just say, you guys do you.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
Yeah, because parking sucks, period, in LA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what time of year you go.
Driving. is
Oh my gosh,
terrible.
what about our Ubers? We almost died every time we got in an Uber. It's crazy.
I almost, that first Uber, day one that we took, I wanted to vomit so hard because he kept like, just like,
Oh,
That
yeah.
first one was really funny because it was like we just got in the car.
yeah, he
and
took off. And I was like, I gotta
just
grab
got
on.
here.
Or when I ordered the Uber and I sat in the front because there was 4 of us, and there was
Yeah.
a phallic shaped item, a massive one, just down below my legs.
Can you show us a reference size?
like that thick, like that thick, and like had to have been like that long,
Color?
pink,
Interesting.
veiny,
I don't like that word.
and like wrinkly on the
Oh, gross.
the cojones, you know.
The thing is, you sat up there with her and she said nothing.
No, she said nothing. I said nothing.
I mean, I don't know
Did your foot touch it?
No, I made sure my foot didn't touch it. I was freaked out it was gonna roll, and I don't know what I would have done. I was like, that was like my biggest fear the whole time I was riding in the car. I was like, this is definitely gonna roll and touch me. But no, that thing had so much weight to it that it didn't.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, I don't.
Maybe that's her way of having no one talk to her in the Uber.
It worked.
No, because she started talking to us. Remember, she was like, "Oh yeah, I love anime."
Oh,
She was the one with I think like the green hair, and she.
Oh, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
right.
Yeah.
So she did talk to
Can I
us.
be honest? I didn't listen to a single thing she said because I was in fear of like
Getting
having to
touched?
write an incident report.
I don't blame you.
Incident report.
Yeah, like if she stopped hard enough, I don't know. Like you might not see me in 9 months.
That he may welcome a new life in the world.
Yeah.
Wow, that took
I'm
up.
gonna write an Uber, which is like, is it wrong to pick up girls in an Uber? That's gonna be my manga.
Have the opening scene be that.
I think you
Yeah,
had another idea for a manga.
I did. Yeah, it's I need to get good at drawing so I can make it. It's just like it's an isekai, but it's help me step bro. I'm stuck in a laundry machine to another world.
Oh my gosh.
Now someone's gonna take it.
Wait.
Yeah.
So would they fully be isekai, or only the part that she's stuck?
No, like she would have like it's like a Narnia kind of situation, you
Oh
know?
God, I got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, it's like One Hit Kill Sister. They were never babies. They just kind of fell
Yeah.
into the new world.
Would she be like One Hit Kill Sister then?
No.
No,
The step bro would.
the step bro would.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Twist, plot twist.
And like every episode, she just gets stuck somewhere, and he has to
Yeah,
save
yeah.
her.
Like one of them will be like she's stuck inside of a dragon's belly.
Or the another one might be like a tentacle pit.
Oh yeah.
That could be a season finale, maybe.
Yeah. Someone has like falling table jutsu.
Oh my gosh,
Someone's stuck under a table.
I would read it.
Yeah. Coming to a webtoons or a tumic near you.
Hold on, did someone say webtoons?
What are your thoughts on the lack of webtoon
Oh
panels?
my gosh! If
You know, which
I
is
just
weird.
really wish that at least the most popular webtoons, or even just webtoon themselves, set up a really nice booth or something. Because I really, really want to support webtoon creators. I am obsessed with the webtoons. I read on average anywhere from 5 to 10 a day, like new episodes that come out. That's how I plan them. And it makes me so upset because most of them are based in Korea, so it's really hard to support them other than just like buying coins, which
Yeah.
you know, like I do from here and there, but like really, I want to buy merch.
Yeah.
Like, give me a
something tangible.
yeah, like a Tower of God like sweater, or like
With
even
Rachel
perhaps
being beheaded.
Oh.
I'm just
that'd be
saying.
so good.
I'm just saying. I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Or like Rachel's wheelchair on a hat. Imagine, but like.
Down. Make it happen, guys.
Like, I'm just really looking.
This is a
for-
wheelchair-friendly podcast. by the way.
Unless you're Rachel.
Yeah, unless you're Rachel.
Yeah.
Unless
Then-
you're Rachel,
then
that's
screw
fair.
her.
And I actually looked, and I couldn't find like any webtoons booth, and I was really upset. I
Which
was
is
really
weird
looking forward to
because
it.
Webtoons tweeted that they were going to be there, and I didn't see.
So here's the weird
Anything.
part. There was a Korean manga. It said Korean. It was just a Korean manga or Korean comic panel in the exhibition hall. Not panel, but like booth exhibition hall. But it didn't say webtoons,
It wasn't webtoons.
and it wasn't webtoons. So ooh,
I know what you're talking about. I saw it. If I'm thinking about the same one
yeah,
you
it
are,
was like a green sign or
Yeah.
something like that. Maybe, I don't know.
no, you're thinking of webtoons. Webtoons is green.
No, it wasn't like green.
Theirs
It
was
wasn't like
more
a
white
green.
based.
Oh.
Yeah, but yeah, none of those were webtoons. And I know I have a very extensive knowledge of all things on webtoons.
Well, no, and like I even sent you guys a screenshot saying that they were going to be there, which is weird.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh, I know I sent you a lot of upcoming things that I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys wanted to go to, but like, which is weird because I don't know why Webtoons wasn't there. Voice Me wasn't there, which is like the American manga like creators and stuff. They weren't there when they said that they were going to be, unless they were, and I just never saw them.
Right. Maybe there was like a tertiary room that we weren't aware of.
Yeah, because
Like
like,
outside of exhibitors and artist alley, there's like a third one that we
oh,
just
you know
never
what?
heard
That's
of.
actually another complaint I have. Artist Alley. I love supporting independent artists.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that they're in a parking, like in the parking lot.
Oh, really?
It's overcrowded. There's no air circulation in there. I just wish they were in a separate area.
What upsets me is it didn't have to be that overcrowded. There's always like at least 40% of the parking lot that they use for autograph signings. Just have that in one of the rooms that you don't use.
Or go to the JW Marriott for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't mind that it's in a parking lot per se myself, but I do notice that all the Artist Alley like booths are way too close to each other. Meanwhile, there's like half the parking lot that's just empty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then like there's like one small section with autographs, but really like I feel like we could just like, you know, get the little corner, you know, do a little drag diagonally and spread them apart.
Yeah, so that we could actually walk around and enjoy Artist Alley.
I have to say, because I did half of Artist Alley days 1 and 2, and then I did the other half days 3 and 4. And the first half that I looked through, I barely bought anything because I was like, it's just not worth trying to pause in this like swarm of people, like, you know, like shoulder to shoulder. Whereas the 3rd and 4th days, I was, you know, buying almost everything.
Yeah.
So they lost a lot of business because of that.
They
and
lost
I
the
know.
customer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I was like, screw them. You know, it was just like, oh my gosh, if I want to shop here, then there's like, you know, a wall of people I have to get through. It was just too difficult.
I get you.
And I felt bad. I didn't like, you know, it's not like I enjoyed not shopping there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sucks because I do believe in supporting your independent, like your small time creators and like, you know, independent artists and stuff. But it's just when it's in that area and you can't necessarily just go in and actually look at their art to see like, okay, I'm going to buy that. I'll buy that. I'll buy that.
Yeah.
It's more like you're being forcibly pushed or you're so on the booth feeling like 1,000 people hit you in the back.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's the worst. So many times I thought I was getting robbed because like I would just get jostled.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, someone's taking my wallet from my bag. Okay. But like it wasn't. It was just so much jostling.
Yeah, just back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So if AX could fix that, that'd be great.
I think that's just a quantity of people issue, but they could always just enlarge the hallways.
Which would do a lot.
Exactly.
It would, like, if I could just at least stand in front of a booth without feeling 1,000 people on my back.
Oh, yeah.
That would be great. Mm-hmm. Like, if they expanded it, like, because they could expand it easily, like, another, I don't know, 20 feet because half the parking lot's empty.
Yep.
At least.
At least. At least. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So before we close out, I'd just like to say, like, maybe each of us give, like, one tip for people that are going to AX next year for their first time. Let's believe that it's still going to be at the LA Convention Center. So, yeah, I think my tip would definitely be really do your best to plan out, like, your food choices at AX. Because, to be honest, the AX food trucks and the AX like beer garden and stuff like that, there is not enough room. And if you're expecting to get a seat, good luck. They don't kick anyone out that's clearly overly intoxicated and knocked out, which is ridiculous. Like, kick them out. They shouldn't be just hogging up chairs because they're, you know, passed out. But that's also the bartender's fault. They shouldn't be serving people that much.
Or people who are just sitting there for
sitting reason. There, not even eating. So yeah, I would definitely recommend, if you can, obviously on the first day, I would say stay in the center, but on days like 2 through 4, when it's not as hard to get back in, I would say definitely plan your meals outside of AX. 1, you'll probably have a cheaper, better meal, but 2, you won't have to fight for food or a place to sit. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My tip would be just figure out what is worth waiting in line for and what isn't.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about going to the convention, you could skip the morning and go in the afternoon for a shorter line to get in, or show up early so that you can be one of the first to get in. It really isn't worth showing up at 10 a.m. only to get in by 1 or 2. Like, it just isn't. Just so make sure you understand like what you're willing to stand in line for and what you're not. One thing I learned is in the Diamond Ballroom at the JW Marriott, if any of your locations at the JW Marriott Diamond Ballroom, unless it's like a huge event where like Oda himself is coming, don't worry about getting in line early. It's a massive room.
Yeah.
Not a single time that I was there was the room even remotely closely, packed. That being said, I saw a lot of premieres that I thought a lot of people would want to see, like Eminence and Shadow, huge premiere, right? But it was still, it's not because people aren't interested. It's just such a massive room. So you don't have to get there early for that. Don't waste your time trying to get in line for that. Just go in when it's time. And then, during the times where you don't have to wait in line, you can actually spend it, whether it's hanging out or shopping or eating, it gives you a lot more freedom to do stuff like that. I like to actually stagger what time I eat as well, just so I don't have to wait in lines for food. Like there was one time where we skipped the beer garden because the lines were so long, and we're just like, we'll eat later.
Yeah. Mine would be bring snacks.
Or liquid IVs.
Or liquid IV. Yeah, because it just, you'd be surprised how hungry you get just by walking around.
Yeah.
And I always see it, like, because I don't know if you guys know where that first aid response is. Mm-hmm. There's always people in there, and the number one reason is because they pass out from lack of food. Their blood sugar will drop. And so bring something that it's decently sugary. I like a thing called outright bars just because they're made with honey, and that'll spike up my glucose levels so that way you can actually be more cognizant and not pass out. Drink plenty of water, and don't necessarily believe in a lot of the rumors that certain actors and stuff are going to be there, because I know a lot of people were upset because one of the things that One Piece was supposedly supposed to have, that Oda himself was going to be there.
Yeah, which is why I thought like maybe he was the one that went, but I guess not.
No.
I think that's why the lines were so crazy though, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
there was a rumor he was going to come.
Yeah. Look at their official Twitters and see if they're actually going to be there, because your voice actors, your creators, and all that will use Twitter for their number one way of announcing if they're going to be at the panel. Mm-hmm. So
if
use
Oda
that as your guide.
if Oda actually went, he would actually sell out the Diamond Ball.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, like you wouldn't
sell
have
out
a
the whole
hard
JW
time going
Marriott.
in.
Yeah, he would sell the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you gotta understand what is gonna have lines too. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, if you're curious though, just look on the creators' Twitters and you'll see, look, I'm gonna be here from here to here, and if you think it's gonna be worth standing 2 days in line to go meet this person, then do it. There are certain people that I would do that for, just because like I'll never get the opportunity again in my life.
Would you wait 2 days to see Oda?
To see Oda?
Honestly, even I might.
I don't know.
Like,
I wouldn't.
it's Oda.
I wouldn't
So-
wait
Like,
2 days to
that's-
see anyone.
So if it was Toriyama, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like Toriyama 100%,
Okay.
because it's my childhood.
I
That's
know.
fair.
I want like there to be like the Itadori voice actor to come, and then like instead of like asking him to sign something, I just want him to say something for me, and I record it.
Have him sing "Happy Birthday" to you.
I don't know about happy birthday, but maybe
Yeah.
something. Like maybe like I'll like black flash into your heart or something cheesy like that.
Hooks in.
Yeah, there you go. But that's something the cat guy taught us. The
What?
Japanese word for
Black Flash
Black
is
Flash.
hooks in, because they don't have like a
Hooks in.
direct translation for it. Like it's not like Black Flash is like the American trend, or like
vibe.
Yeah, it's like the English like translation, but like there's really not like a direct. It doesn't really
So
translate.
it's like
to
a
Black
general
Flash.
translation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it, got it.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
interesting.
I know. It was worth the $200.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all we have for today. I would definitely say if all the bad news on like Twitter and Instagram have made you think about not going to AX, honestly, don't listen to them. Was it bad? Not any worse than last year. There's always going to be things you need to improve on. And if you just go open-minded, knowing that there's going to be a lot of people and knowing that you're going to be in crowds and you're going to have to deal with, a lot of pushing and different stuff like that. And if you're fine with that, I would definitely say go and do it. You'll have a lot of fun. Go with a friend. It's always going to be the best way to go, and you'll feel a lot safer too.
Better yet, just go on a Monday or Tuesday or whichever the
go whatever the
week-
third and
weekend.
fourth days are.
Yeah.
Usually those are the best days to go. But yeah, I would say, and hopefully we'll see you guys there next time. All right. Bye.
Bye.